Hi guys, Bob from Bobspur TV doing a nice little video for my man, Lily White Lane. Good idea actually, it's a bit of a video with a difference. He asked me the other day, he goes, Bobby, do you hate any footballers? I'm like, hate's a bit of a strong word, but yeah, I probably do. And then here's the bit that got me. He said, would you want any of the players that you've ever hated to play for Spurs? He's got a point. I probably have. And that's what today's video is about. He's asked me to pick out 5 players who I've openly hated. I think you're allowed to hate football players. Obviously meaning no harm, but it's the passion of football, isn't it? But yeah, 5 players that I've openly disliked and severely disliked and hated because they've played for a rival team, but would secretly love to have played for Tottenham. So, as fast to say, there were players from the likes of Chelsea, West Ham, and obviously Arsenal. And I couldn't think of many other players from other teams that I dislike as much. Robbie Savage was a player I disliked, but I always loved his passion. He always pushed himself to the limit, and it was most of the time never enough. But mate, he showed some balls, so I'll give him credit. So, okay, 5 players who I disliked severely / hated would have loved to have at Spurs. First one's from West Ham, Paolo Di Canio. Well, that goal speaks for itself against Wimbledon, but his passion, the funny stories you hear from Harry Redknapp, and I think we possibly could have got him the season when Ginola was at these 4. So both of them on either flank. Whew. Well, I might have been a bit wrong with that. Ginola might have been a bit earlier, but certainly a player who would have given just as much at Tottenham than what he gave to West Ham. So, yeah, for me, Paolo Di Canio is number 1. Number 2, I have to go with Lampard. To get as many goals as he did from midfield, obviously he'd have to fit into a system, and I'm sure, whoever we had in charge, especially under Harry, we would have been able to take advantage of the fact of how he plays. So Lampard, and I've always wanted him to do well for England as well. But obviously while he was playing, and especially against us, he never. And plus he's played for 2 of our biggest rivals in West Ham and Chelsea. So yeah, Lampard. Number 4, the fact we could have got him as well, especially with Harry's confirming of late that could have got Hazard for 20 million. Yes, I know. He scored that equaliser when we go for the championship with Leicester, and he celebrated like he'd won the World Cup all by himself. But still, the fact we could have got him for 20 million, and I don't know if you've seen it, but Harry Redknapp jokingly says that Levy only went in with an offer of 500 grand, tongue in cheek, of course. But Hazard's my number 3. Would have loved him. Would have loved him at Spurs. Number 4. If you want to keep the best till last, I'm not going to say John Terry. Yes, he's done a few things against us which I don't like. My dislike of him outweighs the like towards him and the admiration that I've got him as a football player. Drogba. Oh yeah, Drogba. Always scored goals, held up the ball. Very Kane-esque, but I think Kane's actually better than Drogba. His passing range so much better. His number 9 plays so much better. So for me, Kane's better, but I would have loved Drogba. And the 5th one, the main one, and you might have heard me talk about him before, but Thierry Henry is a legend in my eyes. Yes, he's a gooner, but wow, the best player out of Spurs, obviously with the Spurs hat on. I thought the likes of Steve Sedgley was a better player than Henry. Some people probably agree with me, but Thierry Henry, seeing him live week in, week out, he's probably the only Arsenal player I would have ever liked to have at Spurs, honestly. And the fact is, he seems like a nice man off the field as well. He's very unbiased. He's speaking about Tottenham highly a couple of times as well, which has surprised me, but it just shows the honesty of the guy. But for me, Henry is the only gooner ever. Not saying that goons that Arsenal haven't had better players than us, of course, but would I have liked him in our team? No, because I've had the Arsenal crest on. But Henry, definitely. So yeah, there's my 5 players who have played for my arch rivals and are openly disliked / hated, but would have loved Tottenham Hotspur. Like always, you can catch me on my own channel, Bobspur TV, and please go on there, check my videos out, like, subscribe, and obviously this channel, Lily White Lane, absolutely fantastic content, so much knowledge for a young person, great things ahead. So yeah, thanks for watching, and please comment below if there's anyone you think you would have liked or disliked so much of any of my suggestions that there's no way you would have liked to seen in a Tottenham shirt. But it'd be great to hear. And as always, come on you Spurs. Oh, one thing before we go. I'd like to dedicate this, obviously I'm doing it for Lily White, but I'd like to dedicate this video to our friend within the YouTube vicinity, Claude. Never had the pleasure of meeting him, but because I saw so much of him, it felt like I did, if you know what I mean. He was on a very good friend's show. It ended up being his last show. He was doing a quiz with Simon, Matt, Josh and Brian. And yeah, you know, it's a sad loss. But at the same time, you know what? You probably know my story, suffering a heart attack a couple of years ago. It really puts life into perspective. Life is way too short. So as cheesy as it sounds, please sometimes just step back, look at the whole picture, love each other, and just make the most of life. Everything what I've just said in this with regards to hate and dislike, obviously it's all tongue in cheek. There's no way I would, wish any harm of any of the players. It's football's a different form of passion, different form of love, but it's not life. Stand back, look at life, and make the most of it, because you just don't know what's around the corner. You just don't know what's around the corner. So yeah, so I'd like to dedicate this, and I'm sure I'll be doing it on behalf of Lily White Lane as well. I'd like to dedicate this video to Claude and his loved ones. Have all our condolences and our thoughts.